Welcome back. I'm Emily at Emily's podcast, Tribute to All Little Angels, Part 5, Episode 2 of Refresh Our Memory, May 22nd, 2022. Good morning. My granddaughter Zoe spent the night with me with her friend, or I should say her cousin on her dad's side. After we were up and cleaned things, Zoe asked, Nana, can Bree and I go to Juliana's house? Before we go, though, can we go to the cemetery to visit Megan and Wyatt? I looked at her and said, Yes, if you want to go, we can do that. And then I don't have to go by myself. Zoe said, Yes, we will go with you. We got ready to leave. 1:11 p.m. I pull into the cemetery. I drove back to Wyatt first, and as I passed Megan on the west side of the cemetery, I saw her flowers are still here. I pull up to Wyatt. We visit with him for a little bit. The girls, Bree and Zoe, took a picture with him, and I pray to him. We walked back to the car, and I pulled around to visit Megan. 1:23 p.m. I took pictures of Megan's area. We sat with her for a little while and I took more pictures. I told my angels I loved them and I pulled out of the cemetery. I drove Zoe and Bree over to their friend Juliana's house and I went home. And I relaxed most of the day. May 23rd, 2022. It's such a gloomy day. It's a day you could pull the blankets up over your head. But unfortunately, I can't do that. I got out of bed. My body aches. I hurt. And again today, I relaxed as much as I could. May 24th, 2022. I thought, thank you, dear God, the minute my eyes opened. I have a lot to be thankful for. I am a little worried about the Attorney General's office and what the outcome may be, but I have a good feeling about it. I really do. It's raining today, and I have to think that the cemetery is most likely flooded. I have not heard anything yet, and I'm still looking at it as no news is good news. Madison and I have errands to run, and after we were done, we went to the cemetery. 2:36 p.m. I pull into the cemetery, and yes, it is flooded. I start taking pictures of the other areas when I first pulled in, and there are puddles all over the cemetery until you get to the far south area. Then it's not flooded, but it's saturated. And that's how the whole cemetery should look. I took pictures. I sat with my babies, but we stayed in the car. It is just too wet. I pulled out of the cemetery and went home. The rain has got a lot of us staying in. It's a cold, damp rain like crisp fall day. It's supposed to rain for a couple days, so I will continue to check on the cemetery in a day or two. May 25th, 2022. Of course, I thank God. The first thing I did after getting home from running a few errands was check the mail. Nothing. I mean, I received mail, but nothing of. It's been 1 month since I mailed the packet, certified mail, to the Attorney General's office, and I've not heard anything yet. After I came into the house, Madison is leaving to wash her car and then go to work. And at the same time, the man next door carries over a handful of mail. I skimmed through it, and there's still nothing. The rest of the afternoon, until Madison came in from work, I worked on the rough draft of what could be a legal brief. I went to bed thankful for the day. And I'm also thankful for not hearing anything yet. May 26, 2022. 1 month today since the Attorney General picked up the certified packet at the post office. Today I worked on a shorter way to take my feelings written in the timeline out. I worked on that from 11:30 a.m. until 10 p.m. I got quite a bit done. I did pace myself, and now I am taking notes and then taking pictures of the conversations and typing it off of the picture instead of me handwriting it all out. And so far, it is a little easier. I talked with my sister Susie earlier, and she is always such a bright star in life. And I love you, Susie, and thank you a lot. May 27th, 2022. Good morning. It's Memorial Day weekend, and I hope we all stay safe and well. Enjoy the day and the weekend. Madison and I have some last minute shopping to do for her graduation ceremony and the little party she's going to have afterward. We got all that done and we were able to get home before the traffic for the travelers got bad. When we arrived home, we put everything away and I checked the mail. 6:16 p.m. I opened the box, I pulled out envelopes, and I said, "Oh crap." Madison said, "What?" I didn't say anything for a few minutes, and I sat the letters down on the table and I sat down. I told Madison and Zoe I received a letter from the Attorney General's office. Madison said, "Are you going to open it?" I said, "Yes, I'm going to, but I'm nervous." She said, "Just open it." I picked up the envelopes and my plate with pizza on it, and I walked into the other room. I sat down and I sat the plate down on the table, and I opened up the first letter. Madison looks at me and said, "Will you open it already?" I said, "I am right now." I open it, I read it, and I couldn't believe what I'm reading. I read it again, and then I read it to Madison and Zoe, Megan's sisters, and they couldn't believe it either. And you know I don't. Are you kidding me? I have to laugh. And this situation is not funny, but it's laughable. 6:30 p.m. I messaged Jen. I told her I received a response. I wrote, "It's bullshit. I sent you the copy of proof of them picking the case file up on the 26th of April, right?" Jen wrote, "Yes." What the hell? I wrote, "This is now a letter saying they didn't receive anything from me." Jen wrote, "That is bull." I wrote, "And I'm pissed. It is bull. It's bullshit." Jen wrote, "It is. I would send them a letter with a picture of the proof. They did pick it up." I wrote, "Oh, you already know I'm going to. I'm calling Tuesday." And I sent Jen the picture of the email receipt. Jen wrote, "Good, because that is complete crap." I wrote, "It was signed by D. White." Jen wrote, "Yes, and they need to answer for this." I sent Jen a picture of the receipt where I mailed it. I wrote, "I even have this receipt. And oh, baby, believe me, I'm not stopping. They just keep messing up." Jen wrote, "Good, you have that. And keep all of this." I wrote, "Yes, I will give them a chance to clarify. Then I will go to the media with more proof now." And again, they are just trying to ignore it, push it under the rug. But that's not happening. Jen wrote, "Yes, that's what you need to do and keep doing it." I wrote, "Oh, you know I will." 8:39 p.m. I message my sister Susie. I tell her about the letter, and I wrote, "These people piss me off." Susie wrote, "So now they are saying they never got it?" I wrote, "Yes, but you can see I paid to send, they received, and someone picked it up." Susie, is this ever going to be over? I thought this was it. Why does this keep happening? Susie wrote, "Man, I can't believe this." I wrote, "Yes." Susie wrote, "I'm so sorry, sis. We will get this." I would send a copy of the receipts to those people to show them that they did receive it. I wrote, "Oh, I'm going to Tuesday. I'm calling, I'm sending, even if I have to hand deliver it myself." My gosh, Susie, pray for me. Susie wrote, "I will. I am." 8:39 p.m. I reached out to Carla. I sent Carla the pictures of the receipts. I wrote, "Look." Carla wrote, "I would call and if possible stop by with the copies of those pictures you sent to me. I would do it ASAP. ASAP. As soon as possible. Like Tuesday, hopefully, if they are open then. Don't let those people get the best of you." I wrote, I said this like 2 weeks ago. I said they will probably say they didn't receive it. Man, baby, I thought this was going to be it. Carla wrote, "My dad said go to their office and shove it up their rears. Take a copy of what you sent and the receipts in the email saying it was delivered and signed for." I wrote, "Tuesday, I'm going. Will you go with me?" Carla wrote, "Yes, I'll go with you, as long as my dad doesn't need me. He is going to Stillwater to possibly do a bee removal." I wrote, "Oh, all right. Well, let me know." Carla wrote, "I will." I wrote, "I'm going to talk to Summer Tuesday to see what she suggests. I'm going to call Tuesday and talk to whomever answers the phone. And I'm thinking too I should get a packet ready to send to one of our governor. Or what do you think?" Carla wrote, "It couldn't hurt." 8:47 p.m. I messaged Patty. I told her what has happened. I didn't hear back from her yet, but I'm sure I will. I didn't hear any more from anyone, so I am trying to relax. I just can't get myself worked up about this. I'm praying it's just a simple mistake. God be with me. May 28, 2022, 1:32 a.m. Patty messages back. She wrote, "Who is D. White?" She wrote, "Ask the post office who signed for this." 6:56 a.m. when I woke up and saw her reply, I wrote, "I don't know who D. White is, but someone picked it up by this name. I'm going to call Tuesday and see what they say. Then I will do something different. Do you have any ideas?" After I messaged Patty back, I fell asleep and slept until 8:30 a.m. I have a heavy heart today. Madison and Zoe is up, and they asked to go to a truck meet. I thought about it for a moment and thought, it may do me some good to get out of here. I told them, yes, I will go. We got ready to leave and we went down the road to the cemetery before we get on the road to leave the city. 11:16 a.m. Madison pulls into the cemetery to visit Megan and Wyatt. Madison pulls up to Wyatt's area and we visit with him before we leave. Then she pulls around to Megan's area. I took pictures and it is still flooded, puddles here and there. I talked with both my angels and soon after we left the cemetery. As we were riding down the highway, my phone rings. It's Patty. 11:44 a.m. Her and I talked for about 20 minutes. She asked, "What is that receipt picture to?" I told her, "They are saying they didn't get my case packet, and that receipt is proof of someone picking it up." Patty said, "What the hell? I thought it was where someone picked up your mail from the post office." I said, "No, it's where I sent the case packet in to the Oklahoma Attorney General, and now they are saying they didn't receive it. And I have receipts from sending it." Patty asked, "Did you call there to see what's going on?" I said, "I will on Tuesday. I didn't get the mail on Friday until after 6." Patty said, "Yeah, call Tuesday and let me know what they say. You know they are playing games." I said, "I will, and yes, I believe so too. Or they think they are." Patty said, "That's some bullshit." I said, "Oh, I know. They just keep digging the hole deeper." Patty said, "Well, yeah." Patty and I talked a little longer and then let each other go. I sat back in the car seat, crying at times and asking God, why? Why does this keep happening? I tried to enjoy my time away from home for the night, but my heart is a heavy weight. 2:03 p.m. Jen called, my niece. We talked for a little while. She said, "I was talking to Mike is her husband, about what they are saying now. So he got online to see if there is a D. White that works there." She said, "There is no D. White, but there is a B. White. I'm just thinking maybe the post office printed up the wrong letter for the first name." I said, "You have got to be kidding me." She said, "Mike said when you call there, ask if the mail is received in another area of the post office, or is it someone in the office that picks it up? Because something doesn't make sense here." I said, "No, it doesn't." Jen said, "No, something certainly doesn't make sense." I said, "I will call Tuesday. Or will you call and put me on three-way if the call will let you?" Jen said, "Yes, we can try to do that." I said, "Okay, we will call Tuesday." Jen said, "Okay, when you get where you're going, I want to talk to you about something, and let me know you made it and you have a good time away, and don't let people get you down." I said, "All right, I will, and I will call you when we get there." Hours later, we arrive at the truck meet, and it's so hot here. After we left the truck meet, we walked around a flea market that is nearby, just for something to do. A short time later, we went to check into our room and got settled in. Madison and Zoe wants to go see the night lights, so when it was time, they left, and I sat on the bed, kicked back, typing to catch up on the timeline. 8:32 p.m. I called Jen. We talked for about 20 minutes. She just needed to talk. I let her, and I listened. And thank you, baby, for everything. 9:05 p.m. I messaged Jen. I wrote, "Did you say Mike said there was no D. White, or there is a D. White?" Jen wrote, "There is no D. White, but there is a person with that last name, White, but the first name starts with a B. But that was a lawyer, so if someone works in the mailroom, they may have the name D. White." I wrote, "Oh, okay, thank you." Jen wrote, "You are welcome." And by the time Madison and Zoe got back, I'm about halfway through getting the timeline caught up. The girls got ready for bed, and so did I. And thank you, Madison, for suggesting getting away. I adore you both. May 29th, 2022. We woke up a bit late this morning, so the girls hurried and packed the car while I showered. We got on the road a short time later and grabbed breakfast at a nearby restaurant. The food is delicious, and we ate until we got full, because the plate was full. So much food. After we ate, we got back on the road, and Madison drove until she couldn't drive any more. So I drove the rest of the way home. We made it safely. When we got home, we enjoyed the sun in the backyard. When we went inside, Zoe went to her friend's house, and Madison hung out with her friends. 7:12 p.m. I call my brother John back. He talked a few minutes and sounds like he's getting tired, so Gail, his wife, took the phone. Her and I talked for about an hour and 15 minutes. We talked of our great niece's wedding. We talked about a nephew that had a heat stroke. And we talked about Madison's graduation party. Gail asked, "Have you heard any more?" I said, "Oh, yes. Yes, I have." I told her what the Attorney General office had said. Gail said, "No way. What the hell are they doing?" I said, "Oh, I don't know, but it's not over." Gail said, "They just keep digging themselves a hole." I said, "That's what everyone else has said too." Gail said, "Yep." Gail and I just talked a little longer and we let each other go. I caught up on some more of the timeline until I got tired. May 30th, 2022. This morning, of course, I thank God. I thank my angels. It just seems like I'm not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. My heart is so heavy, so heavy. And now I'm going through the motions to get through each day. I'm waiting for Tuesday morning, and I pray this is not what it seems to be. And it seems like they are siding with the city, and nothing else matters. 12:17 p.m. I start copying the papers in the case file. I copied each paper twice. I will now have 3 files to pass out or send out. 1:22 p.m. I went to pick Madison up from work to go pick up the rest of the graduation decorations. After I dropped her off at work, I'm driving home, and the time on the clock is 2:22 p.m. I look at it, then I look at it again, and I said in a soft voice, "Oh no, baby, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up on any of this. That's not going to happen." I drove home and sat down. 4:00 p.m. Madison came in for lunch, and after we ate, I changed the ink in the copy machine and start copying papers again. At 5:48 p.m. I finished. I got it done. And I thought, God, help me with this. Help me to know why I keep hitting brick walls, to know why this keeps happening. What am I doing so wrong? I then tried to get through the rest of the day without thinking too much into it. May 31st, 2022. When I woke up this morning, I feel a bit sick to my stomach. I have to wonder who is on my side and who isn't. I got up and start my day, and I wrote some notes of what needs to be done. 8:38 a.m. I sent Summer a message. I wrote, "Good morning, Summer. I hope you had a great weekend, and things are well for you. I want to share this with you and see what you think." I had sent in all my proof of the city does know me to the Attorney General's office with court papers and pictures, and I received Friday a letter saying they didn't receive the information. I'm calling the Attorney General office this morning. Can you give me any advice? A little after 9 a.m., I called Jen. I'm a bit emotional, so I asked her, will you call this morning and I will call tomorrow morning if they don't return the call? Jen said yes. All right, I will do that. 9:48 a.m. Jen called. She said I had to leave a message and I left my phone number to return the call back to me. Jen said, a lady answered and sent me to another extension, and that's when I left the message and the phone number. I said, all right, thank you. Jen and I talked a few more minutes and we both had to go. I did not get a return call today, and I did not hear back from Summer today either. But I was talking to my daughter Nicole earlier, and she said, Mom, you should be enjoying your life right now. I said, oh, baby, I know, but I have been working on this since baby Jose was a year old, and he is now 8. And it's not fair to them, not to any of you. Madison said, it's not fair to Megan either, and she doesn't have a voice. I said, oh, I know, baby, and we will be, and we will continue to be her voice and the voice of the others out there until this is resolved. I promise you that. Thank you for listening. Stay kind with your words.